Hello YouTubers, this is Travis. Welcome back to the channel. We are happy to have you here, and today I have a draft for you that kind of found me in a color pair I don't play that often, and picking some cards I don't play that often, and having a really good time with them. So we're going to call this one the Mill Birb. I think you'll understand why after you watch through the draft and the gameplay, but it was a really good time. I enjoyed this deck, I enjoyed the gameplay, and I'm continuing to love Crimson Vow. I hope that you are as well. If you're loving the content that you're seeing here, do consider subscribing. You just click that button. It gives you an alert when there's a new video to watch, as well as helps us get to that magical 1,000 subscribers mark, which is kind of a big deal for us YouTubers. So thank you very much for being here, and enjoy the draft. All right, what's in the pack? What's in the pack is a Curse of Hospitality, which I've moved on. I initially did not care much for this, and John was talking about how great it was, or how great it could potentially be, and I think he was right and I was wrong. Sounds good, Brad. Like, Rending Flame is an intelligent pick. Brambleworm is an intelligent pick. I feel like Curse of Hospitality has a higher upside. So I'm going to go for it. It's mostly a green-red card, but 'tis a powerful card. And I'm pretty happy being red anyway. So am I interested enough in this to force it and take the Flame Blessed Bolt here over the Skull Scab? It's really all you need to do is pair Curse of Hospitality with any sort of evasive creatures, and you're fine. Like, we could take the Storm Chaser Drake, right? That's pretty reasonable. Because it could fly and trigger Curse of Hospitality. It could still leave us open to blue-black. It could leave us open to all sorts of things. I think there's a pretty compelling reasons to take the Storm Chaser Drake. It's also a 2/1 for 2, which is nice. Like, if red's not open, I don't need to play this. I'm still going to take the card with the highest upside, but that doesn't mean I have to force a particular deck. And here's our opportunity, our option to get involved with this Wandering Mind. I mean, I like to party. Let's talk. This can find it and then trigger it. It's a combo. Wizard, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Brad and the Wizard. Thank you both very much. Is Curse good? It seems like a win more card. That's initially what I thought as well. And then after playing with it some, I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. Actually, pretty okay. The Swarm doesn't really belong in this color pair, but it is an arbitrarily large flyer. And this gives me the option to just be blue-green and get out of this if I need to. You need to have a plan for getting the Curse to connect. Provided you do, it's a source of card advantage. It's a way to draw 2 cards a turn. So my initial thought was exactly that. Is like, so this Curse is only good if I already have good attacks. It must be terrible then, because how am I not already winning the game? And it is actually possible to have good attacks but not be winning the game. However, if you build around it just a little bit, by prioritizing flyers just a little bit higher, it really starts to have some value for you. I'm kind of on Lacerate Flesh and just buckle into this color pair now, because there's nothing to get me out of it, and while not a premium removal spell, this is a decent one. So I'm ready to party. This is what we're doing, unless there's a card that's just like, you obviously have to stop and get into this thing. The trample makes it really good, potentially, in green, I have found. Wizard is almost on nonsense levels of things here. That's a lot of good uncommons. Let's see what we can do here. So like blue-red wants to make flyers to get it through, black-red wants to have menace to get it through, white-red wants flyers, and green-red is where the trample comes in. So like there's a way to enable it in nearly every situation you could put it in. All right, I'm gonna need 2 drops, and if this isn't the right 2-drop for this deck, there's not a home for this card. Because I'm almost to the point where if we're wheeling the cycling, the cantripping trample card, that I'd start taking them. I can't remember what the dang thing is called. All I can think of is trash through. Just get some gems here. Ancestral Anger, thank you. That's it, but I'd rather have a Siphon Essence. Because I actually like Siphon Essence. Like, I could sort of see playing 1 or 2 of these in the stack. I could see playing a Stinkipate too. Not necessarily like we have to play a Stinkipate, but we could. Okay, we could play 2 of them, sure. I think I'm really close to just jamming this. Like, this is my maybe pile. I probably don't want the Entomber in this deck, but he could make it in. Yeah, it's probably a maybe too. We'll see how many creatures we end up with. The Chandra's a tough one for me because I've mostly found it to be a mana rock that pings your opponent. Which, generally speaking, I don't want. I guess the argument would be that I'm probably not playing Vampire's Vengeance, and it could, in theory, do something here. She doesn't. I've also lost to it. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to put that in the maybe pile as well. This thing doesn't have haste, does it? No, so it would just deal 1 power dudes. That's not very good. This pack also kind of sucks for us, eh? Like, Evolving Wilds would be nice. I can play random 3-2. Like, it's fine. I could play random hard to cast 3-3. Maybe we aren't red. What else would we get into? Like, I guess Fierce Retribution could do a thing. I think I'm red. So this gives me a little bit of an excuse to be playing the 6-drop. I think I'm okay with that. It also turns on a splash. I see what you mean about maybe we're not red, but I'm also like, what else could I be playing? And I just don't see much. I guess if we draw these after we've got a couple tokens off the wizard, it's nice. Let's keep grabbing acceptable removal spells. Okay, it could have been white, but if this isn't good in this deck, then it's just not good. So let's see if potentially it's good here. I probably would have Great God Om. It's way easier to criticize someone else's draft with infinite time than it is to make those choices at your own when you're in the moment. No, actually, I think this makes more sense. I'm also not always 100% trying to draft perfectly when I'm streaming. Like these are all maybes currently. The Vengeance Wheel, I probably play that. Oh yeah, that's absolutely fine, It's absolutely fine. It is worth noting that a lot of people ask me to look at their draft and review it. But I ask you to watch my draft and tell me I'm smart. Feed my ego. It is hungry. Thank you, Zurchin. But yeah, we should probably be in white. I haven't been past anything that indicates that red is open. No, it doesn't mean you're dumb. You can be smart too. Congratulations, Techno Shaman. I just went for 3. I don't actually want to play in the decathlon. That's going to take this for Vault Progress. This could be a way to like cycle through lands, I guess. I don't think I want to cast that. Yeah, I think white was probably more open. I could sacrifice the egg to the 2 Stitch assistants. I could also take a Lantern Bearer, which would play better with the Stitch assistant I already have, potentially give something flying and give me a non-creature spell. And helps with the hospitality plan. There's a lot going on for the Lantern Bearer. Okay, that's got a lot going on for it. This could, if I get, I don't know, 2 more Stitched assistants. Which I could. That's a maybe. Could definitely play 2 Siphon Essences relatively happily. I could splash that. It does interact meaningfully with the Screaming Swarm. No, I don't think this deck wants to play Fear. I think it is actually going to play the other Anger, though, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I feel pretty smart about that now. So we're getting close to something here. So if I take this, I can bring in the Biolume Egg, whereas if I take in the Cruel Witness, I have a Cruel Witness. I think I'd like to do that. Well, I do think that's something someone would want to do, is have infinite Nurturing Presences in their white egg stacks. That's one of the reasons I have a hard time drafting white, is because the cards that make a white deck good just look so bad to me. And I feel like, why would I ever put this in a deck? But like, I believe people, like for sure, that Nurturing Presence is a top white common. I don't know why I'd ever play it though. I can't take that card. So it's like, I guess the strategies that kind of got pushed for white in this particular set just look so bad to me that I never get to play white. They play better than they look. I just feel so weird taking them. I think I'd rather just have the Cruel Witness. This deck is coming together as far as I'm concerned, because I've still got playables over here. Yeah, I do too. I absolutely lose to it. Kenji got me in the sweatsuit last week with it, and I've ended up drafting that deck and doing pretty well with it. Like, it's a real deck. You can do things with it. I just can't bring myself to take them early, which means I don't get to play with them that often, which means in many cases, like, they're just too far behind to do any value for me. And I'm getting into them too late to get any value. I don't know. I'm not getting into white, and then those cards don't come by late. So I'm like, I don't know how I would start drafting white. This deck is a little, like, put together to flood. I guess I wouldn't need to use the Lacerate Flesh tokens. I'm halfway tempted to play this into the night. That's probably the case, Justin. I just won't take the cards early enough. I don't want to play into the night. I'm also not sure about the Chandra. I might have enough card draw that I don't have to stress about it. Wandering Spirit. The Wonderlight Spirit. This one? I think I can just go with the Stinkapate, maybe. Maybe I just default to a Ridge Wolf. Have some 2-drops. Planeswalkers are cool. Maybe we can side into her. I think I'm pretty comfortable with this for the first run, though. Just got some new vampire slaves, didn't I? Yeah, we can be vampire ladies. All right, let's go kill people. It might also be that, like, those white cards have the strategy of you're supposed to exploit the table not knowing that they're good. But these days, people figure out the strategies relatively quickly, and you kind of can't do that anymore. It was like when spider spawning was first discovered, if you knew about it and went to F&M and the other people at F&M didn't know about it, you looked like a golden god, but it didn't work again next week. Like, it would have been really interesting to see this set played at, like, a limited pro tour. That would have been fascinating. All right. It's a good set. I like it too. Blue would be nice. Thank you. It's exactly what we needed, exactly when we needed it. I think they should be attacking with the specimen too, maybe. fascinating level of whippage that I'm apparently capable of. I'm actively impressed with myself. Yeah, now you're getting it. They heard me. 2 colors of mana in current year? This really sucksers. Oh, but if I lacerate the farmer, like the trainee just starts growing. But I think it's the call, and just assume that we're gonna hit a land next turn. Because this means I'm just taking 4. Not the best value I've ever seen, but needs to be done. My elemental's really excited that we got a counter spell. It's kind of cute. I think I'm kind of okay with this. It's a little risky to mill them. Not a lot of risky to mill them. Was that bad for me? Like, they can cast all their crap from the graveyard, but that doesn't seem that bad. I can't afford to take a lot of damage from them. I'm gonna have to Vampire's Vengeance eventually. I'm concerned with this wedding invitation and a wedding announcement that I need to protect my life total. This triggers next turn, right? So I should probably be Vampire's Vengeancing next turn. It's instant speed, so I can wait. I think we can take one just to see if they cast anything else. That's pretty good, but we can make sure that they're not actually getting anything for it, right? This is no longer good enough, so you need to get milled. Since they attacked with 2 creatures, they're not going to get that. I should have waited to the end step. Yeah, they're not getting a token. They attacked with 2 creatures. I think I'm dead unless they're bad. Because this only does 2 damage, right? So there's 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm too short. Yeah, we're swinging with both. I just don't see much of a reason for them to do it. It's like they can just untap and put lifelink crap on that and get me. I guess our hope then is that they cast a creature spell. Because that's all I got left. Like, presumably they just cast the lifelink on it and kill me. To deal 2 damage just in case they do something like that. You know, just for a chance to win the game. Because there's no reason for them to do what they did. But sometimes people do. I had absolutely no business winning that. All right, I do want at least 1 Stinkipate here. We saw their whole deck. Like, we can make reasonable decisions about sideboarding. Their deck's better than mine, card quality-wise. They just wanted to show off, I think. Or maybe they thought they were playing around something. I don't know. Maybe they thought I had a bounce spell. I have no idea what they were doing. If they attack in lifelink, I'm not dead, correct? But that means they're not dead either, so. I do think that they would have been out of reach, but that's neither here nor there. I need to sideboard. Give me a moment. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the Vampire's Vengeance or not. I'm also trying to decide if I want 2 Syncopates. I think I'd rather play the Entomber over that, just in case it combos with this. They might have had more cards in hand, my friends, but you're, again, arguing over a point that doesn't matter. I don't think I need the statue. Like they might have had something else to play after that that could have blocked a flyer. I'm still kind of priced into vengeancing this turn. Fine, you got me. Maybe not as much as you thought you did, though. It still works here. This is ugly. This is really ugly. I was really counting on this being able to connect next turn. But it's not going to, and that makes me sad. So I'm going to have to counter it and maybe go... I'm hopeful they play their demon here because they've got demon mana. That's not good enough to counter, but I also can't sit on the counter spell anymore. This is kind of fine. You got anything good over there? Lifelinker seems okay. We'll take that. Okay. Sure hope they don't hit that demon. Gotta counter that anyway. Not being able to block sure is a bummer. If I check their deck for a card, I think I'm dead, right? I would have to kill this. I'm priced into killing that. Yeah, I think we may as well, but remember, it's going to come into play tapped. Whatever we hit. Like, that's not that useful. But I do still get one hit with it because I can take the 2 on the way back. And I don't think I can, I shouldn't be drawing a lot of lands from here. I can check again. Still checking. No business winning either of those games, realistically. Cool. I'm getting a little chilly. If that was a mountain, I think I'd keep it. Seriously considering it anyway. But I don't think it's quite there. Yeah, it's absolutely what that was. I milled the demon, they got frustrated and scooped. Presumably they use a combat trig to keep the Grip Rider around. We kill it, we win the video game. Or they just trade, that's fine too. It kind of sucks that I'm down like 2 cards now, but I think I can make some of it up with the Lacerate Flesh on a Grip Rider. Because extra lands after this we can just cash out. Good afternoon, Jared. How are things in your world, my friend? I'm just doing cat things. I don't feel very flooded with these to cash in. Like, can we draw one of the sacrifice duders? That'd be so good right now. And I got 3 chances to go dig for it. The tournament's later tonight. Oh man, it would have been so good to sack it before they can get rid of it. That's a shame. It's a real shame. So the sweatsuit starts at 6 your time. 6 Central. It's an impressive level of flooding. Like, we went 3 cards deep on treasure token or blood tokens and still going. Yeah, we got an emote for that. Fair enough. I mean, I can still defy those odds. I have the skills. I mean, that's potentially the way to go. I assume Val. I didn't bother looking. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Pardon fudge? Dude. It's not going to work for me. Straight up 3-color madness, huh? That's what we're doing? We're going to lose to it. Okay. Cool. Right on time, Siphon Essence. I can't imagine what's in their deck that's going to get me out of this, but I'll look. Is it a forest? It's probably not a forest. Yeah, to be fair, I do think we lost to our own deck. We had a particularly rough mulligan and then just drew all land. Yeah, surprise, it's a land. I think fortune favors us given the fullness of time. I was really hoping we would... The Stitched Assistant was the card I was looking for when they had our Swarm pacified. And we had like four draws at it. Seeing the pacifism almost makes me want a suppository scab. I don't think we saw really anything that Vampire's Vengeance would kill consistently. Well, there's a couple things. But I don't think I want this anymore. I like the Stinkapate and I like Suppository Scab, and I don't think I actually need that statue. I'm not ramping and I'm not splashing, so why am I playing the statue? Just so some pigeons can crap on it? It's not really what I'm looking for. I think I'd rather the free card. And then plan to kill the Weaver next turn. I might should have just let it go, though. I don't know, I'm addicted to value. Could conceivably just cast this and plan to kill it next turn. Necroduality a bomb. By my definition, no. It does not win the game for you by itself if your opponent doesn't answer it. I do think it's a very good build around. Okay, so we need to never not have Siphon Essence up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I lacerate this thing, the next turn I can have Siphon Essence up. And I'm going to have to trade this for a Spore Crawler. Sucks, but they're not going to be able to get me with the Bramble Worm. Because I don't want to lose to a Bramble Worm. So many of them. I still can't lose to the Bramble Worm. That is not what I need right now. I guess we die. Have to counter a potato here. They definitely have a Bramble Worm. It cannot be anything other than their last card. I know this to be true. What? Not a Bramble Worm? Guess as long as they can whiff on a land to cast their Bramble Worm, we're fine. But if land or spell is a good draw for my opponent, we're in a particularly terrible spot. This one does seem like we got a little bit harshly flooded, though. Naked variants? I think so. Excuse me? Probably still die to Brambleworm. But I'm trying to get through this flood as best I can. All right. I guess I milled him at this point. There's no reason to be milling myself. I don't know what the hell they're sitting on, though. Double red cards is the only thing I can figure. Or just a handful of, like a monster handful of land. I'm not quite dead to removal spell. I think we keep attacking. I feel like I should already be dead, but I'm not. So let's take advantage of it and try to at least move this towards something we could potentially beat. What's up, Dave? I feel like I've drawn all of them. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, there's 3 lands left in the deck. I'm like close to dead to that. No Brambleworm for you. Don't want to be dead to a removal spell, but I do need to start... Well, I don't need to start stressing about milling them that fast. I think I'm actually in a position where I might be able to win. So let's see if we can do that. Because we are definitely on counter a cheeseburger here. I think I'm still milling them faster. I do not want to draw any more cards, thank you. Because I'm at 6, they're at 9. I have to put myself dead to removal spells. That kind of sucks. I don't want to be dead to removal spells. Depending on the spell, I might could draw it. You can at least see what's left in the deck. Curse of Hospitality is an interesting one, isn't it? Because that puts them dead next turn, right? Yeah. They kill me now or they're dead. I suppose, or exile the Screaming Swarm. That would make it a lot more difficult for me to just get them. They're kind of splashing red for Abrades, I guess. I didn't think we were going to win that one. And then we did. Like, I should be able to beat that mana base. But this is a green-white deck with red removal. Yes, it's another lucky game. Magic is all about luck. All about luck. That should be the takeaway. In most of this deck, I really do want Vampire's Vengeance. Now I have to figure out how to fit it back in. It should be over something here. Probably the Suppository Scab. It could be over the Assistant. I could get behind that. I can't actually beat a Brambleworm once it gets in play. Like, if they land it, I just die. Which is not a super, like, happy place to be, but I don't care about them flashing it back. That doesn't matter. What does Vengeance kill in this deck? Vampire's Vengeance? It kills Drogskull Infantry, Reclusive Taxidermist, tokens from this, the Toxic Scorpions, 3 Griff Riders, a Spore Crawler. Basically all of their nut draws, it wrecks. I think this is good enough. It's going to be our best shot. A land-heavy hand. I don't care for that. But the good thing about having a land-heavy hand is you know you can't draw more lands. And most of what we were scared about from them wasn't early drops. Like, I can siphon whatever they do this turn, then land the Raconteur. Or just land the Raconteur, that's fine too. That thing's annoying. It's 7 I have to leave the counterspell up on. Yeah, this is guaranteed to be the last land we draw, for sure. get our angry emote ready. No, you don't get to kill both of them. I can't beat that. That sucks. Maybe. I don't think so. They know about the cards. Well, it could be. Hold! Hold! Oh, that sucks! Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I was scared they were going to augment it. I'd just be dead. I have to dodge them Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Was I just supposed to take the 3? I've been supposed to take the 3. I felt like I drew so many lands, but I might have just been supposed to take the 3. I think the better line would have been to take the 3, counter the worm, and then try to dig for an answer to the Spore Crawler. But like that deck was missing a bounce spell or 2. That would have been so good against that opponent, and I just didn't have any of them. Yeah, I think that's the case, Jank. So I think as soon as they didn't enchant it, that meant I'm supposed to take the damage, counter the worm, and then try to find an answer. But I, I don't think I was very likely to win that game either way, so I probably don't need to beat myself up too much. It's been all land issues with this one, huh? So what are the odds on a one-lander on the play when you only need one land? I don't think they're very good. It's under 50%. Now, as soon as I click this mulligan button, we're going under 50% anyway. But I think there might be enough card draw in the deck to make up for it as long as we get a better hand. I don't know that this is actually a better hand, but I'll give it a shot. Because we still should be about 50-50 to hit lands going forward, which, I mean, is not terrible. All right, let's close this out. Have you ever lacerated face for lethal? Because apparently we have. That's the thing we've done. All we really know is that they're playing black-white. They did discard an Undying Malice, but we could have guessed that anyway. There's not quite enough life gain in white to trigger this unless you just go nuts on Traveling Ministers. And apparently that's the best white common, so you can't go nuts on Traveling Ministers. I'd say it was lesser great. I should probably just be doing this on the draw. What was me? That's not quite English. Those are English words, but they're ordered in such a way as to make not any sense. I'll do you one better. Why was me? We have a Drake in the deck. Two of them, in fact. It's likely I was referencing that. It'll be neat to do Vampire's Vengeance on the Vampire Slayer, because then, like, that's what the Vengeance was for. Like, presumably, like, there's a story happening here. See the story? I wanted to see if they had that Undying Herpaderp thing. They didn't. I think I want to lacerate it next turn. Start my 1/1 trains. I don't mind taking 5. They could still have the thing that does the stuff, and I'd be a little sad if they had the combat trig now, but if they have it, it's because they've drawn it. Not because they've been holding it to get me. Because they obviously didn't have it when I went to hit the trainee, or they'd have used it. Bloop. This seems to be working okay for now. We probably care more about the socialite than the flyer, right? I'm just playing this out. I don't need to sacrifice anything. Yeah, it's kind of sad because I'd really rather counter the socialite, but I mean, I'll be able to counter the socialite. Care about that either. I guess I'm not that worried about a socialite now. I didn't realize I was drawing that many ground creatures to block it. I mean, it's nice to still be able to counter it, but So I don't have good attacks yet, but we'll get there. Turns them into a pair of 3/3s, which I would say is not wonderful. Means if we want an attack, it has to be with the 5/5, and I don't think we want one yet. This is getting a little challenging. Maybe I did care about the flyer more, thinking about it now. I do think I'm on counter potatoes. Can you really have like a colony of recluses? I don't quite understand how that works. A group of recluses is called a paradox. I could believe that. Six, 7, 8, 11. We could kind of mill them out over 2 turns when we finally draw the mill bird. I just don't know that I'll ever draw the mill bird. If it's the last card in the deck, I can't win. That's interesting. Well, it schwas. It no longer is. All right, any minute now, we're going to draw the bird, and we can mill them out, and it's going to be great. That thing is going to become huge. Oh, it's not about the life anymore. I get a creature back. That's fantastic. How big does it need to be indestructible? 10? I mean, they can get it there if they want to burn through most of their deck. They do not. I'm doing this just because the bird would instantly kill them. I'd like to see if we can hit that. If it is literally the last card in the deck, I need to draw it naturally and then kill them with it. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there's their deck. Two Vampire's Kisses, huh? Ambitious. That's what the bird does. Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, target player mills that many cards. I attacked with 13 creatures. Just doing what the cards say. Shazam. I'll take it. I still feel like I could have played that second game better, but that was fun. I had a good time. It's certainly worth something. Good afternoon, Vincent. I'm doing well. I hope that you are too, my friend. Cool. And a very big thank you to my patrons. Paul, Punk, Hero J, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Basti, Rich, Michael, Brandon, and John. Thank you all very much. I'll see you next time.